Alright, here are like 6 spots up in Buffalo that this company that I do, that you're gonna do, we've done once prices on. Mine are pretty complicated. I do the price, profit, everything. This is average time. I do everything, but I'm gonna make yours pretty easy here. This will be yours. You just want to grab the alright. You take that. Alright, so that's the association, the address. Go to Bing Maps. Bing Maps is the best. You can also use Google Maps because, and you go on satellite view, and it's very easy to tell how many batteries there are. I'm going to show you that in a second. But you can't tell the trees on Google. Alright. When in doubt, because these people don't ever know how many buildings there are half the time. If a complex is next to another one, if the buildings look the same, those buildings look the same, so we know it's the same complex. And you could tell it's the same street. So I also go on Google. Sometimes I do that just to see. You can go to images. A lot of times I'll have, that's what it looks like. I mean, that's as easy as it gets. I'm not going to waste your time doing it. But, you know, I always look at them. So I want to see. Sometimes the pitch looks different on Bing Maps, and when you look there, like as flat as that looks, I mean, it's really, we just want to make sure it's not that steep. But here we go. Go to Maps. It's easy to count these this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. I always double check it. I pull all these numbers down and then I change them because it's all formula. You know, see all these formulas except for price. Don't worry about the yellow ones. I'll show you how to fill that in later. So you do 35.
I hear a lot of talk about working out.
I'm doing a video. Off-site, don't even worry about that. That means how long it takes us to drive there. On-site, let's say 35 buildings. Let's say 2 guys can do that in a day. I always go a little higher, even though we usually beat it. It's not going to be 2 men. I always do it with 2 men, 3 men. I had 1 man on something because I was thinking about sending you by yourself, but you can guess a price. If you want to just say, for buildings like that, when they're not steep and they don't have porches, it's going to be probably in that $60 range. It's probably going to be like 2,800 or something like that. Not even. That number doesn't really matter, like I said. But when you, even without this number, it still shows this. This means that's the average time of building for 2 guys. And 3. It's basically, what is that? It's 18 building. That means 1 person's doing a building, cleaning up everything in 30 minutes, 30.86 minutes, so 30 minutes, which would be a piece of cake on these buildings, right? I mean, there's no porches. And I do it for fall pricing. In the spring, we know it's going to go faster, but I price these for fall. $30 a minute, you're all good. It would even be less than that. 27, definitely. So then I can figure out where I need to be in that profit. And on my things, I have profit percentage, all these. I'll show you. And I'll show you how to do all this stuff too. It's really easy. But right now, all you need to do is that. I do labor costs, I multiply it, you know, you're more than this, you're at whatever, 20, but if it's like $16 an hour, it ends up costing my company that. I have different formulas. You know, then you can figure out profit. I like to be in that range, the 60s. And that include, I factor in everything, insurance, everything. And usually it goes higher than that because in the fall, in the spring, we'll go over 70. And I pretty much, these are all our complex. I pretty much beat every one of these every time. And then I always track you guys for the most part, see how long it takes, and then I'll redo those numbers and see where we're at. But you could do this right now. I'm going to start giving you some because it's a little time consuming and you'll know how to do this. You got to be able to clean gutters to know what this is. Gutter model pricing. So, that's how I double check it, make sure I spin it around, not in a big rush. I check if there's garages. If I see garages, I try to get as close as possible, see if they got gutters. Because, if they don't have gutters, what are we going to do? Blow them off? It's going to take 10 seconds. You can do it from the ground. But if they got gutters, it's going to be that much more time, so we got to factor that in. Always do it with two men. You could do all these with two. When I go down south, I still do it with two. So I just assume, if it's 4, we'll do it. Right now, I'm putting off-site for 1 hour on all these. It's not going to take you 30 minutes to drive back and forth. But I factor in if you're going to do 6, I'll add in 10 hours of driving because you got to get to Buffalo and back. And I factor in hotels. I do all those things. But right now, this is real basic. Just worry about these lines. What is this? Total time, total man. Oh, that's total time on site. That's total time because factoring in the off-site. So that's 18 man hours to get a job done like that. So that's how I figure out the pricing.